Hey guys, it's Julia, and if you've noticed, I'm kind of in a different spot. It's because I'm filming in a different spot, because why not? And I never film here, so if you guys like it, let me know. I don't know if I'm liking it, but we'll see. And I apologize if the lighting kind of changes a bit. I'm playing around with my studio light setup, and I'm trying to get it to look okay, but I look kind of bright, so I apologize. But yeah, today I'm going to be doing a book review on Everything by Nicola Yoon. This book came out on September 1st, and I actually picked it up from my Indigo like 2-3 days before because it was already there and I was so confused. But yeah, so I picked this up and I read it, and I want to let you guys know my thoughts on it and everything. So yeah, actual synopsis of this book. This book is about a girl, and basically she has this disease that she can't go outside. She's allergic to everything outside. She's allergic to everything basically, and she's in her house, and she's like in a bubble in her house, not like in an actual bubble, but like metaphorically. And she's in her house, she can't go anywhere, she's stuck there, and they have a nurse always watching her and everything. And then one day they get new neighbors moving in next door, and there's a boy who's there, so that kind of inspires her, I guess. Also, if you guys are familiar with Jennifer Niven, who wrote All the Bright Places, she also blurbed this book. Danielle Page, who wrote Dorothy Must Die, David Arnold, who wrote Mosquito Land, and those three authors blurbed it on the back. So yeah. So if we're talking about the actual characters in this story, I found our main character she didn't complain about herself, and she didn't always feel sorry for herself or pity herself, and I really appreciated that about her. Just considering her situation, she wasn't moping around all day long, and I appreciated that. But she also made some really dumb and unrealistic decisions that I think people in her place wouldn't have made, and I just was like, girl, what are you doing? But that's what I thought of her character. She was all right. I liked their nurse, Carla. I thought she was a good friend to the main character, and I thought she was a nice addition to the overall story. The boy, Oliver, I thought he was really adorable. Obviously, we don't get to know him too well, but he likes parkour and all that stuff, and I thought that was so interesting. I've never seen like a guy character who loves all that kind of stuff, and it was really nice. And he was always doing handstands and fooling around, entertaining just to watch and experience. So there is a pretty big plot twist in this book, and when we are getting closer to that climax, I pinpointed it right away, which I'm not usually the person to catch things like this, but I caught it right away, and I was just like, it was a decent twist, but it was predictable in my opinion. So the actual writing of this book, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really nice. It flowed really nice. This book was really fast paced. It only took me a couple hours to read. It's still pretty decently short as well, but it didn't take me very long at all, and it's very fast paced, very nice. It wasn't like, it's not a light contemporary, I would say, just because there is some darker topics brought to the surface, like abuse and the whole twist. So there is some, it's not super light, but yeah. I did have kind of a problem with the romance. I was really enjoying it because it was really adorable, and they were kind of, at one point they were emailing each other and like writing on their windows, and I found that really cute. But then I read this line in the story that killed me. I was like, insta love. That's insta love. That's because if you read the synopsis of this, it's like this guy inspired her, right? So is she in love with him? And when that scene happened at the beginning, I was just like, thank God that she's not like, oh my God, I'm in love. But then there was the line later, I'll get into that, into the spoilers and stuff, but that was there, and that kind of got me upset because there is some insta love in this. So if you don't like that, well, it's in here. But I thought that overall, I thought it was a good read. It was still good. It was very entertaining. It was fast paced. If you're looking for something, a contemporary novel, it's not super dark, but it's not light either, in my opinion. But if you're looking for something fast paced, nice, good writing, interesting characters, there was some really cute moments, and I was smiling a lot throughout it. Like the yellow ticks, I have 3 of them in here, and those were like when I had a big smile on my face or a smirk or something. But yes, so I did overall enjoy it. I found some moments to be predictable, and some things, actually a lot of things, to be unrealistic within this novel, and I'll get into that in a couple minutes in the spoilers. But overall, I thought it was just a pretty decent read, and yeah, And I gave this a 3.5 to 3.7 out of 5. So 3.5 to 3.7 out of 5. I can't really decide which one I should choose. Like, that's why I kind of just put 3.5 to 3.75, because somewhere around there. But I can't give it a full 4, and I can't give it a 3 either. So somewhere in that range. But yeah, it wasn't like the best book of the year, but it was still very good, and I was really anticipating it. It didn't necessarily let me down, but it was just different than what I expected it to be. So now I'm going to be getting into the spoilers. So if you haven't yet picked up this book, you can pick it up if you would like and come back and we can talk about it. So yeah, bye if you haven't read it. Bye, bye, bye. Hello, welcome to the spoilery section. We will be discussing the events and the resolution of everything by Nicola Yoon. Let's go. Something I was saying about the Insta love earlier, she says this line that pisses me off. I like wrote down my review, that's why I'm looking at my iPad, but she said, "I love you, Ollie. I loved you before I knew you." How could you love someone before you know them? That's Insta love. That is Insta love. And I didn't like that. And also, they run away to Hawaii. You're allergic to the outside world, and I'm gonna choose to go outside and run away to another country. And she managed to get on the plane, actually get to Hawaii with the guy, where 2 families have their kids that just left. If this was in real life, there would have been, the cops called, they would have digged through her computer, and they would have found the airline ticket info, and they would have went right to the airplane. And plus there would be an Amber Alert, so if she gave the person her ticket, she wouldn't be able to go in because she's a missing person. That's what it would actually be like, not like she gets on the plane and flees the country. How does that even work? She's like a kid. Like, it's not like she's an old criminal who's trying to escape on a plane out of the country. But like, what is that? I didn't. And then the twist with her mom, how her brother and her dad died in a car accident, I believe, and she didn't want her daughter going out into the world and something bad happening to her, and so she made up the disease. So then, well, she didn't make up the disease, but she kind of said that she had it and that she's sick. Plus her mom's a nurse, so yeah, but she kind of just said that her daughter has this disease and she didn't want her going outside, and because she didn't want her daughter to leave her or get hurt, or she didn't want her kid, she didn't want to lose her kid. And I could actually respect that, and I was just like, I felt bad for her mom, but at the same sense, that is so bad. And I felt so bad for the main character. I'd just like to share some quotes that I marked down for some reason. Either I liked them, I thought they were a good addition to the story, they described it well, something. And first I put, just because you can experience everything doesn't mean you shouldn't experience anything. Besides, doom love is a part of life. My eyes don't have to stop at a wall or a door. I can see the beginning and the end of time. I can see infinity from there. Love. Love makes people crazy. Loss of love makes people crazy. Those are my thoughts on everything by Nicola Yoon. If you guys read it, and well, you're here if you read it, but if you liked it and or you didn't like it, let me know in a comment. I want to know. I thought it was pretty decent, 3.5, 3.75. But yeah, let me know your guys' overall thoughts, what you guys gave it, and I'll see y'all very soon with a new video. Bye.